Minor spoiler alert. 2 words. Wish fulfillment. Okay, so I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood today, and I enjoyed it. This is sort of going to be kind of like a review of the film. So I'll try not to ramble too much, but I don't have anything official written out, nothing formal, no notes to go off. This is just off the top of my head. When I was watching it, one thing that kept coming to me, or kept occurring to me as I sat there, is that there were parts that felt slow. Not necessarily boring, just kind of slow. Like it was more for the first, I wouldn't even say for the first half, but for the first maybe 3/4, 2/3, 3/4 of the movie. For the first of that, or for that portion, it was mostly like a slice of life type of film. And a good portion of the film, I mean, these are mild spoilers, you guys. So, I mean, I'll put a disclaimer too in the description. If you feel like you don't want to hear anything that might give you any idea about what the movie's about, what happens in the movie. So, it just felt like most of the storytelling in the movie takes place in February of 1969, about 6 months before the Sharon Tate murders. And that amount of time that's taking place in February, it's just really mostly over the course of about a day. During the storytelling, there are some flashback sequences, but it's showing these 2 guys, Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio is playing an actor named Rick Dalton, and Brad Pitt is his stunt double. And so it's just kind of showing how their day goes with their flashbacks that happen. Brad Pitt's in the middle of, not Brad Pitt, Leo is in the middle of this. He's kind of got a little crisis going on with his career. He feels like it's sliding, and he's starting to feel like he's losing his ability as an actor. And Brad Pitt is just kind of showing how things are going with him, and he's going along doing his stuff, and he's encountering these hippie girls who are, you later find out, of course, you kind of already know, I did anyway, that they were part of Charles Manson's little tribe. But having said that, the payoff at the end is so much fun. It's so great. And it went in a direction I was not expecting. So you know how Quentin Tarantino, spoiler stuff going on here, you guys, but you know how Quentin Tarantino, his stories contain altered reality, like he rewrites history. And I'm specifically thinking of Inglourious Basterds, where Hitler gets killed. And so go into that thinking about this. I didn't think completely about it while I was watching the movie, so I was expecting that we were going to be treated to a horrible display of what happened with Sharon Tate. And it ended up quite differently. I liked how the ending was, but we're reminded at the end that it's Once Upon a Time, which, was the leading phrase in a lot of fairy tales. So anyway, I enjoyed the film, and I'm not exactly sure where I would rank it within all of Tarantino's films. I don't know. I like pretty much every Tarantino movie that I watch. I wouldn't say his movies they're like my they're not anywhere near like my top 10 favorites or whatever, or top 5. They don't do that for me, but I do like his movies, and he does have a very good way um, of storytelling. This movie especially made me think of the term slow burn. That's what it felt like. There was all this stuff happening, and you just have this sense of uneasiness, mostly because you know that what happened to Sharon Tate. And these two characters, well, Leo's character is a neighbor to her. So you just kind of wonder, what's the involvement going to be? Why are they showing all this stuff going on with Sharon, and then they're showing this stuff with Leo and Brad, and what's the interconnection going to be, and when's that going to happen, and what's the form going to be? But anyway, I had heard some things before I went to see the movie that some people were complaining about the treatment of women in the movie. And not exactly sure where that's coming from, because I don't feel like women were mistreated in the film. I mean, the only women that were mistreated, and I don't even really consider it mistreatment, were these killer creeps who got their asses handed to them. Literally. Pretty much. So I don't know what was the deal. What's the complaint behind that? Maybe someone can fill me in. I might disagree completely. I don't know if it was it because maybe it's tied into some things I had seen about people complaining that Margot Robbie didn't get enough screen time or didn't get enough lines of dialogue. She wasn't talking enough. But here's the deal. The movie was not about her character. She's like this little side story going on. She's, it's not about her. It's about the two main male characters. It's their story, not hers. So I don't know why there's any expectation at all that she should have had more time. I felt like she had a good deal amount of time. Kind of draws you into the character. But I don't feel like it overdid it. I don't feel like it underdid it. I felt like it was just right. Especially because the focus of the story was not Sharon Tate. The focus of the story was Rick Dalton and Cliff, whatever his stuntman's name was, Cliff, whatever. Anyway, so that's sort of like my rambling thought analysis about it. I enjoyed the film. I think pretty much any Tarantino fan will probably enjoy the film too. So I do recommend that if you like Tarantino, go check it out. Compare it to his other works. Like I said, I really don't know where this rates for me. I found, I don't know. I almost want to say Django Unchained, but I don't know. I rewatched it again tonight, and I'm not sure now if Django is my favorite. I don't know. Maybe Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is, or maybe Inglourious Basterds. No clue. Maybe they're all just sort of kind of on the same level for me. But anyway, it was a fun ride, and Quentin Tarantino is very good at building suspense. I'll tell you, there were several scenes where I was just concerned about things that were going to happen, especially because I knew that some of the other characters involved in these scenes that were making me nervous, they were real life killers. So I was concerned for the characters, and of course, at the end, as things are unfolding, there's just this underlying sense of dread, and he does a very good job of capturing that. So anyway, those are my rambling thoughts on this movie. I just wanted to kind of share that with you guys. I'll try to do more of these kinds of things, like after I've seen a movie, when the memory is fresh, and I'm still thinking about it quite a bit. So don't know if I'll do it all the time, because since I don't have anything formal written out, I feel like it's just, maybe it's a little too rambly and it's just not coherent. So I hope you guys can make sense of what the heck I've been talking about. I'm trying not to give too much away, but at the same time trying to explain stuff that will, so you know why I'm saying what I'm saying, so that it sort of makes a little bit of sense. Okay, sorry, there was something else I wanted to add that I completely forgot about, and it ties into the very first
words that I said in the intro, and I can't believe I was trying not to give away too much, and sorry if the audio sounds different. I don't know what's going on with the other microphone I've been using. It worked fine the first couple times, and now it's just giving this staticky noise. It's super, super annoying. So I've gone back to my earbud mic, but the only downside to that is it's super sensitive and it's picking up the fan noises across the room, so that's frustrating. But anyway, with regard to wish fulfillment and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, think Inglourious Basterds and how that ended up. And that's really all I'm going to say about that. I actually already sort of said stuff about it in the first portion of the video. I didn't go into specifics, but I gave you enough of an idea of what I was talking about. But this is just to sort of underscore that when I was talking about things that were happening, that ties into the whole wish fulfillment thing and the alternate reality that I mentioned. So anyway, that's enough for that, and I'm definitely shutting up now about it, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.